Hey everybody, how are you today on this Wednesday? Hope you guys are doing all right. I'm doing okay. I'm doing pretty good. Um, I'm not sure if you can see me because my video went out. That's how I double check and make sure y'all can see me. So I'm gonna make sure we're good. Good. Look like I'm good. That's what's up. Y'all make sure you let me know because again, my video is. I think it's my internet. Like it's been acting crazy. I don't know if anybody else has been having problems with their internet now that all of us are home. So I'm gonna get started here in a moment. Hey, Andre. Thanks for joining. So, how you feeling? How's everybody doing? How are you? Are you taking care of yourselves? If you're getting fatigued with everything that's going on, are you taking a step back? Are you taking a mental break from all the madness? I hope you are. I hope you are taking the opportunity to at least get some fresh air and eat something that you probably shouldn't, and maybe exercise a little bit too, just a little bit, and do something you like. You know, balance all this craziness out with something to make you laugh. I don't know. I didn't tell many people this, but I the Lovecraft Country this last episode. First of all, I can't watch it at night. I'm probably a scary cat. So what I do is I wait until the next morning on Monday, and I ignore all y'all comments, and I watch it in the morning because I can't watch it at night. It don't matter what episode it is. So that's just my little thing. I'm gonna say with you. What's up, Thor? The topic today, we'll be talking a little bit about some domestic violence, but we're also going to talk about raising the minimum wage, which is a ballot initiative that's coming up in November, and kind of want to talk about that. But are you all watching the debate tonight? I know that's coming on. I got my popcorn. I'm ready. I think this is actually going to be a debate, so that's the reason why I'm kind of excited about watching it. So I don't know about y'all, but I am. I don't know if excited is the word. I think I'm looking forward to it actually being some content where you can actually hear both people discussing issues. But I'm going to remain focused on just the local stuff because those are the things that impact me the most. But nonetheless, I'll be looking and seeing what's going to take place. Let's see here. So I'm going to get into first the minimum wage thing. Well, no, actually, I was going to start with the domestic violence thing, but I guess I better go ahead and do it while it's on my mind. So I'll be doing videos where I'm just talking about different things, and I'll be posting those videos, just topics that I think about that we talk a lot about the statistics and other things that are very much maybe known, maybe not. This month is October, and in the month of October, along with breast cancer awareness for the survivors, we also have domestic violence awareness and prevention for the month of October as far as raising the awareness. And so I thought it would be a good idea to talk about the fact that I'll be doing the videos, and you know, it's just really a conversation about topics I think we don't necessarily get the opportunity to talk about unless it's something mainstream, and that just happens and it goes away and we're picking it apart, and that's just really not. We're kind of dealing with the what and not the why, and so some of my videos will be discussing the actual, the why and different things like that. So as I post those videos, if you have any questions or if you have anything that you'd like to see me expound on, if there's any, even if you don't really agree with me for whatever reason, I'm okay with people not agreeing with me. And this is not my thing about it is it's not absolute. It's not obviously a one size fits all. It's not a vanilla key, kind of straight. It's very diverse, and but I've seen patterns that I feel like were similar. And so this previous Monday I posted about the lack of self-esteem. Next week I'll post another one, and so on and so forth. Based on any content or any questions or anything that's posted on there, I may do another video to elaborate on it. And that's where a lot of the rest of my content will be coming from. I think we really probably need to start having a different discussion about it. And if y'all bear with me because my video keeps going out, because it's Wednesday and it's the Murphy's Law. It's going to happen. Like, let it happen. You know, it's crazy. So, yeah. Hey, Shay. Hey, Havlin. My baby girl on here. And I think that we probably want to start being realistic about it. You know, I was looking at a post, and I'm not saying realistic, but I think we need to have some real ugly, genuine, taboo conversations. And I was looking at a guy that posted something, and what he said was, you know, essentially, you know, had some good truth to it. And paraphrasing it, he said, you know, a lot of things that guys will do to girls and to create those insecurities, and then, you know, they beef about them and have an issue, and then and be mad at the girl for the issues that they created in terms of the insecurities. Now, I'm not naive to know that that does not go both ways, but his post was specifically directed at, you know, males, and so a lot of his male counterparts jumped on there, and it was like, shh, stop talking, shh, shh. You know what I mean? You're giving up cold and all that. Let me just tell y'all something. I don't get that. Because these are the same people who have daughters and don't want anybody to treat them any kind of way. I don't get it. I don't get it. They don't like anybody doing their sisters any kind of way. They don't like anybody doing their daughters any kind of way. But these are the same guys that are perpetuate, you know, bull. You know, and we know that things are harmful to other people and to ourselves. And then that stuff, the reverb that it happens, and the impact that it has on people. And sometimes that stuff doesn't necessarily always get physical, but we are very aware of times where it is, up until the point people get killed, and that's a real thing. And I think it's a good thing when somebody speaks up and says, hey, I'm going to speak to the psychological conditioning of this thing of violence, and how it's this control in the games that people play. Personally, I'm from a different stance in the way that I talk to people and also talk to girls and women, which is I'm not concerned about what you're doing and what your stance is and what games you're playing. I have exactly what I want, what I'm willing to tolerate, what it is that I need, and that is what I'm going with. And if whomever, you know, comes into that space, I'm not concerned about what game you're playing and what you're doing. I honestly, it won't even matter, because if I set a standard for how it is that I want to be treated, what's my non-negotiables, what I'm willing to, you know, maybe look at a red flag. Well, no, I'm not looking at any red flags. But what if I'm looking at a lukewarm flag, trying to figure out what you got going on? I'll make that decision. But I'm not looking to try to figure out why you're doing something you're doing. I'm not doing that. And I'm not going to raise my girls to do that. And when I'm talking to women and girls, I'm not looking for you, to educate you on what the defense needs to be. I need you to be prepared in the offense. I need you to know what it is that you want, who you are, and what you stand for. And anything that is outside of that, then you govern yourself, because you sure as heck can't control anybody else. So that is basically, hey, Miss Pauline, that is basically where, you know, I am coming from with that. And let me say this before I go into my other topic. Let me tell you this. Let's be careful about, you know, how we treat one another and other people's children. I know that I've seen a lot of stuff about that, and we want to make, nobody wants their kids to be mistreated, but we also want to make sure we're not, like, you know, not co-signing on our kids mistreat anybody else, regardless of how they behave. And I want to say to you all, with your beautiful daughters, and, you know, you're just great looking kids, great, wonderful, smart, brilliant, you know, children, be mindful of how and what content you post about them. But let me just tell you this, your homeboys on your page, and they won't tell you, and I'm going to do it today. If they grown and they are not mature enough to understand that that's really a young girl and that's your daughter, they will try your daughter out. Nobody wants to say it, but I'm going to say it, and they will. If they're single and they're about that life where they want to prey on people, manipulate, and take advantage of young people, young minds, for whatever reason it is that they're broken, they will do that. So make sure you're educating your daughters. Make sure you're educating your sons, because they need just as much education about that. But more importantly, establishing a foundation in which they want to govern themselves and not really coming from the defense. But, you know, that's just my thought on it. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but that's how I feel about it. So that's that. I will be talking about Amendment 2, and I think that's important because it's going to raise the minimum wage. And so on the ballot in November, we'll be actually voting on that. And it took some time for that initiative to get to the ballot. And currently, right now, the minimum wage is at $8.56. And so the goal is to get this law passed, get this amendment passed, so that there will be an increase that will take place immediately, and then from that point, incrementally until the year 2026, it'll get it to $15 an hour. So it wouldn't even be immediately this flood of money. It would take some time to fluctuate to that, or rise to that minimum wage of $15 an hour. And I thought it was important because that's a huge difference, obviously. And when we start talking about a living wage, and a great deal of people make above that, right on, I'm happy for you. And then there's a great deal of people who don't. And so what ends up happening is a lot of the times they have to subsidize their income with maybe another job or either some type of assistance. And I wanted to talk about that because there is some pushback on that, and kind of just really talk about the pros and cons of it. So 7 states passed bills providing the increase of $15 an hour for the minimum wage. And this will be the first time that a ballot initiative was placed on the ballot, which means that amendment, it was driven by people signing petitions and getting the amount needed to put it on the ballot. So the people decided that. And essentially the people decided that because the government was moving too slow. So back between 2004 and 2016, there was about 24 initiatives, at least from the initiatives basically to raise minimum wage without success. And so the people was like, okay, well, we're not going to wait on you anymore. We're actually going to do this ballot initiative. To understand that will help me, further explain why there's such a pushback with the rules and the changes they're trying to pass next year with the ballot initiative, because they know that people are coming together collectively, uniting into saying, y'all moving too slow. We're going to create this ballot initiative by way of organizing people and getting petitions. And so that was one of the reasons why obviously they want to change that, because the people power gets things done. But I was trying to understand what essentially was the reason why there would be such, a monumental pushback from certain groups. And so I did some research on it. And first of all, I don't see anything wrong with saying, first of all, let's just say this. We know how important essential workers are. We had to face that reality. Not that, I think we probably didn't think of it like that, but just think about when things were shut down, who was getting up and going into work. You had your doctors, your nurses, your hospitals, your first responders, and you had your people who was giving us, well, not giving us, they were supplying by product, stocking our essential needs, for which we kept going to them people's stores, hurting all their toilet tissue and paper towels. And so they were working, just in overtime, trying to keep that product on the shelf, as well as make sure that they don't get sick. You know what I mean? And so I was saying to myself, exactly what is the problem with saying, come on, a living wage. You need a living wage, And so when everything got shut down, these people were the people cleaning people. These were, just a few, not all, of the people who were directly impacted by having to make sure that they, continue to go to work and then go back to their families with the possibility of infecting them. And I just was like, it's just like us to be like, we're in this together. Together we'll get through this, until you ask for more money. Until you're like, oh, okay, well, this is a big gap here. Let's make it right. And then greed outweighs the right thing, because the pushback is basically that business owners will be forced to find solutions to control costs. And they make that seem like that's a new invention. I mean, they've been doing that for as long as business has been around. Milk ain't, whatever it was, a quarter anymore. It's almost $4, depending on which milk you get. You get fancy like me and get you some almond milk. It's pretty expensive. So that's just, the cost of doing business in a small business. Now, I'm not a small business person. I would love to hear from what a small business owner would have to say about that, because again, it's not, it doesn't happen right away. It is incrementally, but they said it would have a direct impact on hospitality workers, and I don't see why you wouldn't pay hospitality that much anyway, especially in tourist cities. And we know, I don't know if you've traveled lately. I know for last year and the years before that, I traveled quite a bit. And there was a lot of immigrants that worked in these hotels. And those two, to me, are considered essential workers. And I don't see a problem. I don't understand what the issue is, other than it just being a matter of greed, especially when the profit that has taken place in terms of the amount of profit that they have been able to receive for many years since the last wage increase. And you look at all of the options that have taken place for CEOs, like your stock options, as it relates to the federal government, assigning what the stock inflation amount is, and stock options for them. And so since 1978, the CEOs of these companies, who aren't necessarily essential workers, are paid, had their increases come in at almost 1,000%. 1,000% increase since the 1970s. 1,000% in CEO income since 1970s. 1978, so like 2 years before I was born. And so the increase in just your average working person, the actual increase in salary or income, the wages, has been since 1970 about 12%. And that's just going to depend. I think that's on average, because in IT, I know it was a pretty big boom, and as we can see with technology, gaming, and AI, and so on and so forth. But on average, if the wages for your average working American is only 12%, and your CEO in that same span time is almost 1,000%, 948% increase. Obviously, there's a huge gap in the wealth. And so when it comes time for us to come together and say, hey, we're gonna make this right, then everybody's like, no, we was in it together back in March, right up until we opened up this country, but y'all good now. Go ahead and figure that out. We was good. We was all in it together. We was all in it together. We was gonna get through this together until you ask for some more money. And I just, so it's just so, it's wrong. And when we start talking about an issue of morality and being greedy and understanding that if in everything else, the cost of everything else has gone up, and wages haven't, that's just upside down altogether. And I made this comment in my last video, and I'm gonna get to y'all stuff because my camera is acting really, really weird. It's doing some weird stuff. Hopefully I can catch it. But I think that if inflation has gone up, everything else has gone up, and wages haven't, then people look at other options. First of all, there's scarcity of jobs, and I think one of the complaints for the people who are opposed to it, we're talking about less opportunity for young workers and immigrants as well, is reducing hours, having to increase their pass on the increase on to the consumers, which they've been doing that for forever. And then the possibility of automation. Well, I remember when McDonald's down in Orlando had the machine that does everything. Automation ain't new. You think about the self-checkout that's in place now. If that's the case, that's in place in most grocery stores, and we haven't even raised the minimum wage yet. So I'm not really feeling what the opposition is, other than it's going to pull from, their bottom line, in which they're able to take home. And not only that, come up with a plan, because you have at least 5 to 6 years. What is it, 6 years? Come up with a plan where you can make sure that it somehow balances itself out in terms of your payroll and then the business. But I guess you have to be willing to give up something. And again, I'm not a small business owner. I'd love to hear from them to ask what they think. I do know somebody who has a business, and a pretty decent business, and I know that they pay their workers $10 an hour, which I didn't like, and they do cleaning stuff. And not only that, these people don't have benefits. They're part-time. So that means with that amount of money, if you're not having to get another job, then more than likely you're going to have to get a subsidized insurance, which would be like some kind of Medicaid or Medicare. And, essentially as a taxpayer, we're paying for that already too. So if they don't pay for your insurance, if you're part-time and the company's not paying for a person's insurance, I mean, that's a huge cost saving to the company. I don't know. I used to work in HR and benefits and payroll, and it's a huge, huge difference, So those are kind of my thoughts on that. My computer is acting real weird, y'all. I don't know if it's this internet. I don't know what it is. I can't see all of y'all comments, and I want you to know it's hurting my soul because I want to see them. Let me see if I can do it this way. Nope, won't let me cheat. So I think that is about, let's see, I'm refreshing it, y'all. Nope, won't let me be great tonight. That's how technology doing, people. Get your popcorn, though. This is some good popcorn. Somebody put me on, somebody special, somebody very special put me onto this. Ooh, have mercy. I only got one bag, y'all, and I'm going to keep it that way because I'm a snacker. At 2 o'clock in the morning, I get up and snack. I'm so wrong for that. Like, I can't maintain my weight and do that. Like, it's not even possible. So I think I'm trying to get back to the page, see if I can see any of y'all stuff. I'm gonna put the link in there to the initiative, the ballot initiative. You can look at the pros and cons of yourself alone. I will be talking about more things. Still can't see your comments. I will be talking about more things in relation to domestic violence. I'll be uploading more videos about that. I'm completely okay with them not, you should share that stuff because I don't know that you're going to hear a lot of this in terms of, unless you're in the world of, the work and, DVSA, which is domestic violence, sexual assault, and so on and so forth. And if you want to go out and look at it, of course, you can find out that way. But I didn't want to read to you a bunch of statistics because that stuff, you know what I mean? Like, only time statistics, a lot of times has a huge impact on us if it's important to us or it affects our bank account, right? So I didn't want to go over that. I just wanted to give you real life situations of the things that we know and people we know probably have dealt with. And, and that's what I'm going to talk about in those videos, and I'm going to chop them and screw them up and then post them. And if, you feel like it resonates with you or somebody you know or somebody that you are friends with, then send it on, post it, share it, all that good stuff. Ask questions, post a comment, and then that way that'll give me a better idea. So please look at those. My call for you is just to look at those and let me know what you think about the content. Where are we missing on it? What things are we not talking about? What are the things that we should be talking about? Where are we being taboo? Where are we beating around the bush as it relates to domestic violence and intimate partner violence? This is the month of awareness and prevention, heavy on prevention. I think that's important. So let's talk about that. And I think that's really all I got. I think I'm going to try to come down off of this energy that I got right now, which is pretty good energy. I'm just kind of waiting for the debate, and I would like to go to sleep. I'm tired. And I'm actually a little upset. I can't see your guys' comments. I'm going to have to figure this out. I got this Mac, and we're going to have a conversation. Mac don't play well in the sandbox with anything else. It's got its own code, its closed. It's just be doing too dang on much. So that's all I have until the next time. And, yeah, that's it.